Alright, so we have Paddy Pimblett versus Luigi Vendramini. So for Paddy Pimblett, I'll be blunt. He's not a threat at all on the feet. It's mostly singular strikes. It's just some do nothing kicks really, like, not too much power behind anything he throws or technique behind anything he throws. Very that stuff's gonna work in the gym, but not in a fight really. But it's not really what he relies on anyway. It's more of his grappling, and we'll get into that in a sec. So for Vendramini, he seems pretty content to do nothing on the outside for the most part, but when he does go, he will go. Like, when he goes, if you know what I mean. Like, he'll get in the pocket, start throwing left, right hooks, just go ham with left, right hooks in the pocket, just start swinging hooks, left, right, doesn't matter. I think that's how he finished Yes and Ayari. Pretty sure it's just spamming hooks in the pocket, but, he's got a nice counter left hook as well, and then he'll close the distance and throw the right hook behind it. But basically, that's the combination he likes to go to, left, right hook. For Paddy Pimblett, on the feet, he does have some concerning tendencies. He'll lean back with his chin in the air on the back foot. He does have his hands low and his chin in the air at all times, even when he's engaging in the pocket. And he will back up right onto the fence and be able to, just be controlled there, really. So in regards to the grappling, where Paddy gets most of his wins, really, he's okay wrestler. He's single legs in the open, hip toss in the clinch. They're okay, but his double leg and his single leg as well is pretty bad. But he will just stall on a takedown if he can't finish it. Like, he won't go back at distance because he can't strike, so he'll just stall on the double leg. If he can't get you down, he doesn't really have too many other paths to victory, really. But he's not like a chain wrestler or anything. If he can't get the takedown, he'll just kind of stall on it until the ref breaks it up or the opponent, forces him off him. If you stuff the first attempt, he's just going to stall on it, is what I'm trying to say. Just took the long way around for some reason. But he's a good grappler on top. Always looking for opportunities to take the back of an opponent when they're trying to get back to their feet. Body triangle to secure a back mount. But yeah, seems like that's his plan, is to get onto the back. For Luigi Vendramini, he'll mix in takedowns as well. Most of his takedown attempts are coming from the body lock. I say attempts because he hasn't landed a takedown in the UFC yet, and I've never seen him land a takedown because there's very little regional footage of him. But just, it looks like his takedowns do need a bit of work. But it seems to be where he kind of wants to fight. Like, I'm not sure, because there was some perplexing fight IQ in his last fight, but it seems like that's where he wants to get the fight, but also seems pretty comfortable to do nothing at kickboxing range as well. Who knows? But yeah, these guys lose fights. For Vendramini, I need to see more. Like, I need to see repeat tendencies for me to put anything here, because I've only seen like he's only fought like 3 times, I think, in the UFC, and that's the only footage I have on him. And both those, most of those fights were pretty short. For Paddy Pimblett, striking defense is very bad. Terrible optics, just with his hair. When he gets tagged or when he gets punched, his hair just like kind of accentuates the blow, and it just kind of makes it a lot more obvious that he did get punched in the face. And I'm not even joking, like, that shit matters. The judges see that kind of stuff and they're like, okay, that guy just got hit pretty good. His hair went back. Like, it's just how it works. But yeah, poor takedown defense, and he also gasses as well. Past a victory for these two. So for Vendramini, forward pressure, get in the pocket. Like, Paddy has no hands, so just get in the pocket and look for punches, really. For Paddy Pimblett, I guess volume on lead leg kicks at distance. If he's just doing nothing at kickboxing range, then by all means, just go for the kicks at distance and win a low volume decision. That's fine. I won't blame you for that. But yeah, get the fight to the mat, make it a grappling match, get in top position preferably. And for Vendramini, get him down and get him top position as well. Take the back from the back body lock and, just kind of control him from there as well. So, how I see the fight going. Paddy Pimblett is coming in with a bit of hype. Self-manufactured hype as well. Respect to anyone willing to spice up fight week with a little bit of trash talk. And purposely just put more pressure on themselves by forcing people to have an opinion on them. Like a Colby Covington or something like that. Like, he's doing the same thing. He's very outspoken. He's doesn't mind rubbing people the wrong way. But love him or hate him, and that's kind of the thing he's going for, I think. So respect for that, for sure. On the feet, stylistically, Paddy, he throws a few flashy kicks, but he just has no hands. And he's extremely open when he does try to be offensive on the feet, and his strike and defense is basically having a good chin. Like, that's all that he's relied on so far as his strike and defense. And yeah, I don't have a great read on Vendramini still. You know, not that much footage on him even to this day. He looks very good in spurts, but that seems to be how he fights, in spurts. I think he just needs to hustle a little bit more, in my opinion. Not sure what he was doing or what was going through his head when he was just at kickboxing range getting jabbed up for the first 2 rounds by Ferrezium, until he realized he had to go forward, and then he had a lot of success in the 3rd round. But I feel like a few stylistic changes, and I think Vendramini turns into a decent prospect. Like, he looks very good in spurts. I think one change that he needs to do is he needs to come forward. As the smaller guy at 155, you can't just be backing up, you can't be staying at kickboxing range for the majority of the fight. And probably number 2 would be work on your takedowns. Like, the top game is nice. The top game of Vendramini is nice, and he just needs his takedowns to get on the same level as that, and then he can really unleash his grappling. Ultimately, though, I still believe Vendramini does have the advantage standing. Just depends on whether he wants to take that advantage with 2 hands or not. But yeah, in respect to the grappling, again, I think Vendramini has the advantage here as well. Pimblett is a very aggressive grappler, always looking to advance position, attempt submissions. Often this aggression will leave him in inferior positions, like bottom, because he does try to rush the process a little bit too much. Like, this kind of grappling game that, you know, you go super hard for submissions, take the back of the opponent real quick, just, you know, grab the hooks of the body and then forget the hooks to the leg, and it'll come later anyway because the opponent just doesn't know what they're doing. But that kind of stuff, you know, it's not going to work at the higher level, because if you don't get the leg hooks in, or if you don't get the seatbelt grip or something like that, you know, you have to have everything on point if you're going to be grappling with that aggression at this level. Guys will just be able to scramble out of it quite easily, honestly. But yeah, it's going to look all that on the regional scene in Britain. But it's just not going to fly in the UFC. Like, I understand I'm going to piss off a lot of Brits with this video, but that's the truth. Like, historically, British fighters, they haven't shown the best grappling. You know, wrestling is ingrained in US schooling, and that's why generally you can trust those guys to have a bit more grappling than the prospects that are coming over from the UK. And it's not such a big deal in UK and Europe and Oceania, Australia, where I am. We don't have that wrestling culture ingrained in us, so it's fine. But yeah, us Aussies aren't the best grapplers either, but the point is that time and time again that we do see these BJJ guys coming from the Euro scene or the scene in UK, and they're just tearing it up over in the Euro scene or the British regional scene, and then they come over to the UFC and they just look terrible and they just get dealt with. It's because no one knows how to defend stuff over there in Britain or Europe. Like, they just don't have that level of grappling, really, and you're just gonna beat a lot of cans on the regional scene with, you know, pretty subpar average grappling as a whole. But for Paddy Pimblett, you know, his bottom game isn't great either. He seems to be needing to be on top or on the back of his opponent to win fights. Also, I've seen him sweep by some pretty simple, like, basic sweeps from bottom position. Like, he got swept by this guy called Savidis, I think his name is. And he, like, swept Paddy from bottom position, like, with the simplest setup I've ever seen. It was like a guillotine. It was a guillotine hold from bottom, and then he used butterfly hooks to sweep him and just, like, maintain or just manipulate his balance, really. And it was just a really easily defendable position for Pimblett, but he just he got swept, and, you know, didn't look great after that. But I'm pretty sure he got the win there anyway. But, like, he got swept from bottom, and then I think he finished the round on bottom, maybe potentially. But yeah, just the Savidis isn't great either. So if you're getting swept by him, I know a lot of people that did want to fade Paddy pretty badly, and after watching tape for the first time on this guy, I have to agree. Like, he kind of reminds me of Chase Hooper a little bit. You know, semi-dangerous in one particular situation, but kind of useless everywhere else and not really much of a threat anywhere else. I think Vendramini does beat him, kind of however he wants, but I'm not going to go big because I just don't trust the guy's fight IQ. So I'm going to try and fade Paddy Pimblett, but I just want to see what the line is first. I'm recording this in early August, sorry, mid-August. So I just want to see what the line is first. Line on Parry Match has Pimblett as a pretty big favourite, which I'll love to hold up. But I'm guessing that's not going to last very long. It's probably going to be like a pick'em by fight night, I reckon. But yeah, so it's just basically a fight IQ test for Vendramini, because he can win this fight quite easily, in my opinion. Alright, so if you guys could like the video, that'd be awesome. Prediction is Vendramini by TKO. So yeah, I'd put him as a pretty heavy favourite, honestly, from what I've seen from Paddy Pimblett. Vendramini as a dog definitely is a bet for me. It's going to bet him all the way down to like $1.65 or whatever that is, minus 160 at the money lines. But yeah, I think he should be quite a sizable favourite. I think he just wins pretty easily, honestly. What's the looks? Vendramini inside the distance. I mean, yeah, that's a bit wide, but I like the money line anyway. I like the money line more than that. So yeah, I'm going to bet the money line.